The member for Greenway.
Mr Speaker, I rise tonight to address the Parliament about the devastating floods that have befallen southern India. The state of Kerala hugs the southwestern coast of India. It is home to more than 33 million people. It is renowned as a tropical paradise of golden beaches, picturesque canals and Ayurvedic rejuvenation. But today it is in the grip of catastrophe. 12 of its 14 districts have been impacted by what has been described as the worst floods this century. Reports vary on the precise scale and scope of the devastation, but the impact is staggering. To appreciate the scale of this tragedy, one need only look to the estimated more than 1 million people who have been displaced by the floods. Sadly, some 400 people have died, and there are fears the toll will inevitably climb. Aid agencies have reported widespread destruction resulting from floods and landslides. The damage to property has been disastrous. Homes remain submerged, crops destroyed, livestock lost. An estimated 10,000 kilometres of roads and bridges have been washed away, further frustrating disaster relief efforts. The storm and flood damage is predicted to go in excess of $3 billion. As I speak, there are still fears for hundreds of thousands of people in Kerala who do not have access to clean water, sanitation, food and shelter. Approximately 4,000 relief camps have been set up to house people who have been displaced and provide emergency assistance. Hundreds of boats and dozens of helicopters have been deployed as part of the rescue efforts. In many towns and villages in Kerala, rivers and lakes are the lifeblood of the community. Unfortunately, these waterways, which provide water for residents, livestock and crops alike, can and have become deadly, with monsoon rains swelling rivers and overflowing dams. This is the reality Kerala now faces. Kerala is also a popular location for tourists, with its beaches, rivers, forests and mountains, along with its temples and ports, all major attractions for domestic and international visitors. The impact of flooding on the local tourism industry will be significant. Kerala is a drawcard for significant religious and cultural festivals, including Onam, which falls on the 25th of August this year, an auspicious occasion which I have celebrated with my own local community. Whilst it is crucial that disaster relief support is provided immediately, it is also imperative that ongoing support is given in the region to alleviate the damage to the local economy. Officials have reported that the rainfall in some areas is well over double that of a typical monsoon season. It's crucial we elevate discussion within the Asia-Pacific and the Indo-Pacific region about preparation efforts for extreme climate events, including flood mitigation. Australia can and should lead this conversation. Labor has offered its support for the Australian government to provide any assistance required in the wake of the floods, but we also understand the Government of India is advanced in the deployment of its own resources to cover disaster relief and rehabilitation. At a non-government level, I pay tribute to the generosity of the Indian diaspora in Australia who are assisting in supporting the relief effort. I know a number of local events and support drives have been initiated. Individuals and groups from the Australian Indian community have already begun fundraising and supporting those efforts to assist displaced people in need. The people of Kerala face a long road to rebuild their homes and lives. As reported in the Indian Express today, quoting the State Medical Education Minister Girish Mahajan about those affected, they are shattered. Floods have played havoc with their lives and there is a sense of gloom among them. They have waded in the floodwaters for more than 20 to 30 hours and several have fungal infections. Their houses are flooded and furniture can be seen submerged in water. It is a dismal sight. I am privileged to represent a diverse, strong and growing community in Greenway who have ties to India and specifically to Kerala by birth or descent. My thoughts, prayers and a standing offer of support are with my many constituents who have family or loved ones affected by this terrible disaster.
So the people that have come from Kerala have made an enormous contribution to our country, to our community and, as I said, to our local community. And that's what makes me obviously grieved tonight, Deputy Speaker, for what's happening in Kerala at the present period of time. I have many people in my constituency that were born in Kerala, that have come and made this country their home, and what they're seeing there is causing them great concern because, as you would know, having worked with the Coptic community, Deputy Speaker, when you were Immigration Minister, they see people that are being killed that they might have some relationship with. But so far, from the statistics that we know about, 370 people have been killed, most of them in landslides, in recent flooding that's occurred there. We are also talking, as a consequence of the flooding in Kerala, the establishment of about 5,645 relief camps because we've had nearly 800,000 people displaced as a consequence of those floods. It is an enormous disruption that is caused, and the damage has been absolutely massive. The survivors of the evacuation centres, Deputy Speaker, have been described spending days without food and water. And according to BBC News, the head of the State Disasters Management Team said they're preparing to deal with the possible outbreak of waterborne and airborne diseases in relief camps. Now, the Indian government has said that the Kerala state is facing the worst flooding that it's seen in 100 years, and they've opened about 80 dams so far. But what has impressed me the most, Deputy Speaker, has been the desire of the local Indian community, both in my region and also across the state and across the country, to be proactively raising money to send back to aid the Kerala relief effort. And for that, they have to be commended. And in that vein, particularly to offer some hope for the constituents that live in my constituency that come from Kerala, I say tonight I'm happy to work with you, particularly given the contribution that you have made in coming to our country and making our country your home, and the community outreach work that is done by organisations like the Berwick Aliakutum and other organisations is just astonishing. They have Christmas drives. These are people that have come to our country and have enriched our country with their culture. They are an outstanding success story, Deputy Speaker, in my mind, about people that come from another country and come and make Australia their home. And so to those people, I say to them, particularly that live in that we will be working with the Casey Council in a bipartisan way to organise a fundraising event. And what we will be doing with the proceeds of that, and we're hoping to secure Bunjil Place, Deputy Speaker, in October. So this will be bipartisan. This is not political. This is not Liberal, Labor or anything else. This is about us working together in whichever form of government we can to provide assistance so that we can raise money with all of the communities coming together in the Indian community in Victoria to raise money for that specific purpose and to amplify the absolute scale of the destruction that's occurred as a consequence of the flooding and the landslides that's occurred. And also, perhaps, Deputy Speaker, also to encourage the Australian government to make representations to the Indian government, as federal Labor has done, to provide any support that we can to assist those people that have been obviously badly affected in the state of Kerala. So again, I commend the community for the work that it's doing to support the people from Kerala and do my utmost as a local member to help provide that support to them.
The question is